little bit of a gap, maybe. 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's twist it like that. Well, hello. With little to no context, I'm going to be attempting to complete this, what I would describe as a pub game. I don't know what it's called. This was handmade for me, but this kind of puzzle can be found in pubs throughout, at least England. I don't know. If you're from a part of the world that doesn't have pubs, or you've never visited England, a pub is very much like a communal living room, and so often under the bar or on shelves around the pub there will be games that you can just go and take from the shelf and take back to your table and play. And this game in particular was at my local pub where I used to live, and this would live under the bar, sort of on the customer side. The bar overhung, and underneath it were a bunch of games or puzzles. Just like this. And as you can see, it's a very simple design, very easy to have made as a gift. We have one nail. This is bashed into the wood, pretty sturdy, and then a little hole drilled in there for the other nails. Oh, yeah. And I don't know how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 other nails, and the puzzle or the challenge is to get all of these nails to balance on this one nail. That's the game. And of course, if you have never tried it before, or if you don't know the solution, a lot of people will start by just balancing one on there, which, to be fair, is hard enough as it is. I will spoil it for you. I do know the solution, and I can confirm I did not figure it out on my own. So, spoiler alert, if you want to impress your friends at the pub, you start with one nail facing along, and then you take the other nails and you use the hook, the head part of it, and you're balancing that on top of this. Now, we're getting into the particulars of it now. You don't want to lay it like close up like that. You want it to have a little bit of a gap, maybe there. So a little bit of a gap. And then you do the same going the other way, and again you're leaving a bit of a gap between the two heads, so the heads are not right close together. If you can see what I mean, there's a big gap. That would be no gap, and we're leaving just a little gap. And then you can continue doing that with the others. So I guess we'll end up with 6 each side. Make that gap a bit bigger. You'll see at the end where you need a gap. Dog's got bored. I don't blame him. So this is the 5th one on that side. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel if I don't successfully do this first try. I might just start the whole video again and pretend I haven't tried. Okay. So now we have 6 on each side, a lay on top of 1, and we're hopefully going to place this one on top in that gap that we talked about between the heads. And you might just need to adjust a little. So at this point you want to close the gap a little. So if you left too much of a gap, you can close it off. Not completely, you have to allow some wiggle room for the heads of the nails to kind of drop. So don't close them up tight. I'm giving you all my tips here. And the tricky bit is picking this up. Now, perhaps if you're a normal person with regular fingernails, then this might not be such a problem, but certainly I know for me this is the tricky bit. So let's get the base back. So the challenge, can we get these 14 pins, nails, I don't know what they are, whatever they are, to balance on this one thing? If you can pick, if you've got bigger fingers and you can get close enough to the table, you might be able to just pick it up like this, but I need to have my fingers and thumbs around it. So I'm going to super carefully hook round, but we want to hold them together at this point because we just don't want to lose this formation at this point. So holding them down and together. Okay, I've got my fingers under it now, so the danger is over. I want to make sure that the head of this nail is holding onto the edge of this one, and the head of the bottom nail is holding in place that first nail that we put there. And then I'm going to carefully lift it up and let the heads of the nails all rest on this top one. Okay, so now we're going to try and put it on. And I'm putting it on that bottom nail that we started with in the middle, of course. You're just going to feel, I can feel it tipping this way, so I'm going to move it a bit. I forgot to say at the start that part of the puzzle was part of the challenge, is that none of the nails can touch the wood. So you might have to adjust it a little bit, because when I first put it on, this nail here was almost touching. It's not touching now, but if it were to get any closer, I would just twist it like that. And you can see it's not touching any. And it's made quite a cool shape. Cool, huh? Maybe I should start a series of pub challenges with long nails. Actually, I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to leave it on. A bit of a random one, but at least I'm not in a bad mood anymore. See you later.